Hey guys, you're Nerdified here with episode 2 of From the Couch. It's my favorite reading spot, next to my library, and just wanted to come on today, ask a question. Do you guys own multiple copies of books? Because I, growing up, never thought I'd own multiple copies, and, now with special editions coming up and coming out, and different versions of copies, even hardbacks and paperbacks. Sometimes covers are different between hardbacks and paperbacks. You guys own multiple copies of the same book? I have a couple. I brought some off my shelves. Not all that I own, but there's a few. Like I have The Expanse in hardback. This isn't the first edition. They reformatted it so every thing's the same amongst all the books in the series, so I have them all in the same hardback edition. But I also have the anniversary edition that's really beautiful. It's got the sprayed edges that are really vibrant pink. It's a really gorgeous cover. It's got great end papers. It's got the dust jacket. The inside of the dust jacket's got something. So things like that. I have some others that are just different in terms of it being the same book, but not necessarily a different or a special edition. So like that is something like that is The Will of the Many, which the first one is the original cover. Bought probably off of Amazon. I bought it really late, to be honest. I read this about a year or two after it was very popular. But again, just a regular edition, nothing too fancy about it. Probably has a map in it, I'm sure. It's a fantasy book. Then a couple years later, a year later or so, they came out with the deluxe edition. And I bought this because I remember seeing at the time that the rest of the series is going to come out in this type of cover. I also like this better. I know it's a hot take. I like this copy of The Will of the Many better. I think it does a better job at showing what the story's about. And it's got sprayed edges. It's kind of like a mustard yellow, and I think it should have been like more of a gold, but it's probably the one downside to this edition that I have. It's got the original cover on the end paper, or the back of the cover. So it's not necessarily a special edition, but it's a different copy of the book. And then the last one I brought down, because it's my favorite sci-fi series of all time, is Red Rising. Now, this is not the cover. This is the Nerdy Ink cover on Red Rising, but this is the normal hardback. It's actually the Lit Escalates hardback that Pierce signed. But it's normal hardback. It's got nothing, different about it. The cover, the dust jacket's actually framed up above and my TV on my wall. But I also have the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. That I don't know why I thought this was an anniversary edition. It's Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, which is actually, fun fact, the one I've read out of. This is the only Red Rising copy I've read out of. I haven't read out of the other one yet. So this has got super fancy stuff, right? And I bought the other one after buying this one. So I think as I've gotten older, I've kind of realized, like, hey, this is fun. Collecting books, reading books, you go hand in hand, but they are different hobbies. But I think, occasionally getting new books, even if you already have it, it's just an adrenaline rush and gets you excited. So, for me, I find I get happiness out of that. So, let me know if you guys, do you guys buy special editions for books that you already own? Do you have 10 copies of the same book? Do you have one copy of the book and you just think I'm a lunatic? Let me know.